On to you, Sag. How you doing? So you have the moon, the four of pentacles, and the fool. So for you, Sagittarius, a lot of you Sagittarius are very much so taking your time. A lot of you are very much so prioritizing your own personal health. And if something doesn't really make sense, I see that a lot of you Sagittarius will not move. And what I mean by that is you're not going to do anything, nor are you going to allow anyone to peer pressure you into doing anything that or guilt trip you or any of that crap that will guilt you into doing anything that you don't want to do. I'm seeing that a lot of you Sagittarius are very much so getting in touch with yourselves and the instincts that you are supposed to cultivate, right? A lot of you can get distracted a little bit with the book smarts that a lot of you have. A lot of you Sagittarius have a lot of book smarts, but being a little bit, I've discussed why being too logical is it's not very good to be too logical, just like it's not very good to be too emotional, because you're supposed to bring the two together, and then that's what blends. That's what gives you a greater understanding. I think if you're a little bit too logical or too emotional without using the instincts, that could prove to be very detrimental to you. And the Four of Pentacles and the Fool is about just that, right? Not allowing people, anyone, friends, even loved ones, romantic, right, to get you to make suggestions to you. And I see that, if people are going to be around you and they say that they love you, they got to stop trying to run game on you and stop trying to get you to do things that you Sagittarius wouldn't necessarily do if you were by yourselves, right? So now the Five of Swords and the Hangman represent how you're very patient around this time, getting a lot of rest. And a lot of you are starting to kind of see how, like, look at how this person has the sword, and look at how this person is essentially like entangled in a rope hanging upside down, right? Trying to free themselves eventually, right? With patience. And the person with the sword can just cut the person down and grab them on their way down. You know what I mean? They're tied up in vines, come to find out, but they can just cut them down. You understand? No, they're tied up in a rope trying to get away from the vines. But anyway, so in other words, what I'm trying to say here is that you are essentially, taking care of yourselves. And that, people have to take into consideration that they can't just always put the load and put the day-to-day pressures onto you, Sagittarius. You actually do need to take the time for yourselves to breeze out, cool. Like, you got to understand that, once again, I revert back to this again, because I would like to own horses one day, because I love horses. Been to a ranch when I was a kid, you know what I mean? Our teacher took us to a ranch, and I loved horses ever since. Big, giant animals, beautiful, And the Sagittarius represents kind of like the majestic beauty of the wild and stuff like this. Like, if you ever paid attention to a horse, it needs time to actually exercise, stretch its legs, burn the energy off, the excessive energy that it has, and just do its own thing. And like a lot of times, one of the things that happens with Sagittarius is that people put too much of an emphasis, too much duties and responsibilities on a lot of y'all plate, especially when y'all try to be decent people, because like it's the catch-22 of being a Sagittarius, right? Or being a mutable sign, in a sense that you Sagittarius are decent people, but it's like when y'all try to, like, y'all could be jerks, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, but when y'all are trying to be decent people that has standards and decency and integrity, it's like the same people, they put too much of a responsibility on you. And it's like, yo, y'all gotta stop like being like kids. Y'all gotta learn to wipe your own behind and take care of yourselves. And that I'm doing my part already, but it's not my job to be taking care of you like you some child. And the Queen of Swords represents, this is when a lot of the problems come into play, because you, Sagittarius, may have people, especially romantically, right now, that are really expecting you to take care of them like they're in diapers. No disrespect, no disrespect to you, no disrespect to anybody that you, Sagittarius, may be with. I'm just saying, like, I get that too. You know what I mean? My Eros is in Sagittarius. My Eros is in Sagittarius, which is which Eros is at home in Sagittarius. So, which is another part of your chart anyway. That's why I try to tell y'all, come through, get the chart so I can go ahead and help y'all out. But my Eros is in Sagittarius. You understand what I'm saying? And this represents the Queen of Swords, and the Death card is about how, once again, people around this time, they're upset at the fact that you want to be able to do your own thing. And you, Sagittarius, are like, yo, something got to change. So the sun represents you, Sagittarius, may have turned your phone off, or you may be deliberately ignoring some of the phone calls that people are trying to, that people are calling you. Because now it's like, again, you, Sagittarius, are like, yo, how much is it can you, Sagittarius, legitimately take? You have to have time for yourself. So a lot of you, Sagittarius, are ultimately creating that time. You're creating the time for yourself by not being around people and just being like, okay, since they want to play this, you out. And then now, the Knight of Cups and the Four of Cups is about how you're pampering yourself, you're taking care of yourself, so that the next time, even when it comes to romantic interest, you're not even answering phone calls onto them. And it got people upset. But you looking at it like, if people just expect you to just serve them all the time and that's it, just serve them and be of servitude to them, why are you still with them, right? So we need to clarify some of these cards, because I'm just seeing how there's this emphasis on servitude, and Sagittarius having all of this unnecessary responsibility on y'all because y'all are trying to do the right thing, and people are trying to like guilt trip you into doing what they perceive is right, which is not actually right. They're trying to get you on some servitude and serve them, and trying to get you to be like, I don't know, like work around the house on some butler type stuff, or work for free. Anyway, let's clarify the Four of Cups. All these notifications, but you have the Queen of Swords. Excuse me. To clarify, the Four of Cups is the Queen of Swords, which you already got. The Four of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, ooh, and the Death card, ooh. So this could spell a breakup for some of you, Sagittarius, where some of you may be going through a breakup because you're really questioning. You already have the Queen of Swords, and you got the Queen of Swords again. So this is like, prior to this, here they are trying to be demanding and get you to do all this other stuff. And now you, Sagittarius, after, not answering the phone, taking a break, enjoying yourself, now you, Sagittarius, are starting to ask questions like, why is it that you always got to be the one to turn around and serve everybody all the time? And why is it that people are trying to burden you with all of this servitude type nonsense? Like, what is up with this? Like, you obligated to take care of them like they some child, like they're your child or something like this. They're not your child. And the Four of Swords represents how the Four of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles represents this is, and you have the Death card. This is just the end of a relationship or a potential relationship. So a lot of you, I don't want to necessarily say, I wish it, could be a different reading, but I just see a lot of you Sagittarius putting relationships, whether they're friends, family, romance, to an end, because what is all of this about? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is all of this about? What is all of that? And I've seen it in real life myself too. Sagittarius be Sagittarius and Virgo and like Pisces, stuff like this. The mutable signs be the most devoted, and like everybody else be trying to get you to do everything for them and do this and do that. And it's like I'm gonna hook you up. Relax. Like I got you. But then it's like they revert themselves to like children in the sense of they want you to give them the fixins. Everything gotta be, this, that, and the third, and you know, you know, cut my steak. You know what I'm saying? Like cut my steak and like put the food in my mouth and stuff like this. And it's like, listen, you taking it too far. You know what I mean? You taking it too far. You know what I mean? And a lot of you Sagittarius are asking questions to when it comes in a sense of other people you're not supposed to be asking. And a lot of you are kind of like examining the value that you bring and examining the value that others bring, and you're like, look, you out. If people are going to try to get you to be a butler to them, you out. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video.